What's up, Bertini fam? Now in today's video, I'm gonna be giving you a complete rundown of my performance bagger. I'm gonna go over every part that's on my bike and give you a little bit of an insight as to why I chose that part and if I'm currently liking it. Now this might be shocking to some of you out there, but I'm not happy with every part that currently is on my bike. Anyways, stay tuned into this video so you can get the full breakdown of parts list on my performance bagger. And if you haven't already, do me a big favor, click that subscribe button. This way you can stay up to date on all the content that I'm putting out. And obviously, when you subscribe to the YouTube channel, you are helping me out and I appreciate that. You guys are definitely, in my mind at least, putting out good energy when you do that. Thanks again for all the love and support of the channel. Stay tuned in, go ahead and roll the intro. Okay, so we're gonna start at the very front of the bike and then we're gonna work our way to the back of the bike. So starting off first, we'll go ahead and start down here at the very bottom at the wheels. So the first thing right now, I am running Hoffman Designs wheels, both the front and the rear wheel, which I'll show you the rear here in a moment. But the front wheels, well, front and rear, they're both the Signature Series wheels. Now, in terms of, do I like these wheels? Yes, actually the Signature Series wheels, they're one of my favorite looking wheels. Now, they are heavier than the factory ones, and so that I'm not too crazy about. Now, my whole thing on this, if you like the look of these wheels, buy them. They are beautiful wheels. They are very nice. They are very high quality made. But in terms of performance, if you are going strictly for absolute performance, these are not going to be the wheels that you should probably choose because they are heavier than the current Prodigy, or at least the wheels that I took off were the Prodigy wheels. Now, does that mean that these are heavier than all wheels? No, that is not to be said. They're not heavier than all wheels. Going with these wheels would shave or will shave some weight depending on the wheels that you have. So they're not super heavy wheels, but in comparison to the factory wheels, they are heavier than those. And so I do have plans in the future of these coming off of my bike. Moving on, golfer rotors. So this, I know I'm gonna upset quite a few people with this. I know people swear by these rotors. Are they nice rotors? Yes. Are they good looking rotors? Yes. Are these my favorite rotors after riding a bike that has some competitor rotors on here? Nah, I'm not too sure about that. These are, they are light for sure, but in terms of the braking performance, I could slightly see a difference, but not enough to warrant the price point that these are. Okay, so then moving down to here, these are some wheel caps or axle caps that I got. These are actually, I think they're Amazon Chicas or something like that. Not super expensive part, but I have these on here. I have a plan on redoing my whole front end, and so these will be coming off soon. Now, moving over to here, I have these side marker lights here. If you come around to this side, you'll see I have them both on both sides here. So I have one here and one here. These are made by Hogworks. I actually really like these lights. These are really nice. Definitely a quality product. I've had no issues with these whatsoever. Going on, oh, I forgot to mention my Hoffman Designs carbon fiber shorty front fender. So this is the fender that I currently have running on. I know if you've seen, or if you've been a sub for this build for some time, at one point in time, I had a Clockworks fender on here. Clockworks does make some really nice stuff, but remember, I'm going for weight savings on my build, and this is beautiful. This part is super sexy. The carbon fiber shorty fender, front fender from Hoffman Designs. Hoffman Designs makes absolutely killer carbon fiber pieces, and this one is just absolutely gorgeous. Videos do not do this justice. This thing looks much better in person, and it is super, super lightweight. So if you want to shave, I believe it's like 7 pounds that I shaved going from the Clockworks to this. Huge, huge weight savings on this one. Now, moving up to the front end of the bike. So now moving up to the front end, I have on here a Moons MC, I believe Moons calls this light the fish eye or something like that, the fish something, and I could be messing that up, and I'm sorry about that, Moons MC, but this is the Moons MC light. This thing is super, super bright, really high quality product. And for guys like us, if you're looking to build a performance bagger build and you want to go that route of having a lightweight part, it's definitely a piece that you're going to want to get. This is the lightest headlight I have found in the performance bagger scene and the bagger scene in general. Moons MC, great headlight, highly recommended. Now, moving on to my windshield. So this is the Clockworks Flare windshield. I run an 8.5. I am 6 feet tall. To be exact, I'm 5'11" and 3/4. But anytime I get into a debate with my wife, of course, I'm 6 feet tall. That is what my driver's license says, so that's what I am. This is a 8.5-inch windshield. Like I said, it's the Clockworks Flare. I have run a 4.5, I believe. I've run a 5.5, and I've run a 6.5. So I've spent quite a bit of money on Clockworks windshields to find the one that best fit me. This is the 8.5. This is the one that works with me. Now, I do ride a full face helmet, and I experienced, since changing out to the 8.5-inch version, very, very little buffeting. I do still have some. I'm sure if you guys have seen my videos, I have taken this bagger well over 130 miles per hour. So I do go speeds on this bike, or I have been speeds on this bike in Mexico, of course, that you will feel buffeting. Obviously, I tuck in those scenarios, but this windshield definitely helps out a lot with that. Now, let's move over to the front end dash, if you will, of the bike. So first, I run these mirrors. If you want to check out from this angle, the mirrors that I run on this bike are from Arlen Ness. These mirrors are awesome. I can't wait to get into my review series videos with you. These are super, super nice mirrors. Okay, now coming back over here to the front end of the bike, I custom made myself some carbon fiber block-offs, if you will, or deletes, radio deletes, speaker deletes. So I completely removed the speakers, radio, navigation, whatever you want to call it, head unit from the bike, and I've replaced it with these custom carbon fiber bits that I fabricated myself. Check out that video if you haven't checked out that video, but I believe I saved on doing that like 17 to 19 pounds from removing the speakers and navigation from my bike. All right, now getting into the gauges that I run. So I run Dakota digital gauges. These gauges are really nice, really high quality gauges. One thing that I will say about it is they have all these digital readings out on, and Dakota Digital, even though they provide a lot of customization options in terms of the colors that you can pick, they don't do a lot of actual like changing of what is displayed and what isn't displayed. And so that'll be in a later review date or a later review video where I'm gonna get into a detailed review about the Dakota digital gauges, but that is what is currently on the bike. That's what I'm currently running. I don't know how long they're gonna stay on the bike because I've been having a little bit of mixed emotions with these gauges. Getting over to my handlebar setup. So I run an MJK Performance riser and handlebar setup. I believe these are 8-inch risers. I could be wrong. They have the carbon fiber inlay. And then I run a set of ODI grips. I come from the motocross world, and so in motocross, we run these waffle style grips, or at least that's what I've ran. I'm not saying every motocross person runs waffle style grips, but chances are if you've done motocross or any sort of dirt bike riding, you've ran but you've ran the waffle style grips before. Moving down the front end center, so I run a carbon fiber dash from Hoffman Designs. And then I believe this gas cap is from Joker Machines, although Hoffman is coming out with a gas cap that I fell absolutely in love with. It is like that 12-point style ARP stud style gas cap. If you haven't seen that, check out my video of my Daytona Bike Week video where I got into a more detailed, if you will, video on that gas cap. I'm waiting. Curtis, if you're watching this video, Serge, please send me that gas cap already. I wanna buy it so bad. I'm so ready for that gas cap. Anyways, we'll start working our way down the bike. So we'll start on this left side of the bike. So I run, well, first I had my kickstand powder coated in black. So that's most up to date here. I run mid controls from Performance Machine, and I custom did a spacer. I fabricated this bar right here in the middle to fit my exact adjustment that I like. The one that came with the Performance Machine kit, I wasn't too crazy about. After having it on there for some time, I realized that I wanted more downward adjustability, and so I fabricated this bracket over here, this mount, if you will, over here. These are really nice, so really high quality product from Performance Machine. And then in terms of my foot controls themselves, this is a Trask. It's the small shifter peg, and currently I run large shifter pegs here from Trask as well, but I am planning on replacing these with the small shifter pegs. In fact, I've already ordered them, they just haven't come in yet. In terms of my driveline setup, so what you can't see in here, I run an Evo Industries compensator delete that sits in this portion here. I run a Hayden chain tensioner. My clutch basket inside, the clutch basket is a Trask. It is the billet aluminum clutch basket. And then I run a Trask see-through window here, or derby cover, I believe it's what it's called. And then for my passenger pegs, I also run the large passenger peg from Trask, matching my front one. But like I said, this front one, I am switching out to a small. So if you are interested in the exact setup that I'm gonna be running soon, that peg will be a small. Coming into here, I run the Trask Checkmate cover. This cover is a lifesaver. I highly recommend this to every single person, even if you don't have a performance bike like I do. Highly recommend you picking up one of these Trask Checkmate covers. These, I mean, super highly effective, helps reduce pressure. So yeah, I run that on my bike. Two things that are very difficult to see, but I think I'm capturing it. I just want to get a close up on is that I have a Ward ported manifold. So my intake manifold is from Ward, and then I run 7.1 injectors from Daytona Twin Tech. All right, so next, moving down this portion of the bike before we get over to the other side of the bike, we'll stay down here and then we'll work our way back up. So I run the Hoffman Designs side covers, the FXR style side covers. If you wanna know why I did this, there's not a huge weight savings in these side covers. I think it's maybe a pound, but they reveal more of the bike. They reveal more of the swing arm. They also reveal more of the frame, and so that's why I went with the FXR style side covers. Now my chain, so getting down here, I do have a chain drive conversion kit. In terms of my sprocket that I use, my rear is a 54 tooth from Fuel Moto. My chain drive conversion is from Fuel Moto. So I run a 54 in the rear and I run a 24 in the front. That is the offset that I have, and I'll explain that here why in a second on the other side of the bike. In terms of the chain that I run an RK gold chain. The chain is it's the one right before you reach the drag pack chains. The reason why, if you're wondering why didn't I go with a drag chain and you didn't watch my video, the reason I didn't go with the drag chain is because the drag chain is not sealed and my bike is still a streetable bike, and so I do need a sealed chain on my bike, and so I believe it's like an X-ring chain or something like that. Now, furthermore, and we'll talk about the artwork that I have here going on, this is a Trask billet swing arm. I'm super stoked to give you guys my review video on this swing arm. Highly recommend that swing arm. It's one of those pieces on the bike, and there are a couple of pieces on the bike that are like this, that literally changed the game of how the bike performs, how it handles, things that made the most noticeable difference. That is one of those pieces. but anyways, we'll save that for a later video in one of my review videos on the Trask billet aluminum swing arm. That was a big piece. Now, another thing that saves a whole bunch of weight is the bags. So my bags are from Hoffman Designs. These are killer bags. Highly recommend these. Also, there is an absolute ton of weight savings going to the carbon fiber bag from Hoffman Designs, but that's who I use for my bags. So I highly recommend these. I mean, all the products on this bike, I mean, there's a lot of great products, but this is one where if you're really looking for weight savings, your bags are very, very, very heavy. Now, working our way back up the bike, I run the Drag Specialties Predator 3 seat. I run the one with the wider rear. This will make your wives or girlfriends or your husbands, who's ever sitting on the back of your bike, to be frank, it'll make them really happy because it has that wider rear spacing for the passenger. It's not like the really tight ones, like on some of the Saddlemen step-ups, if you will. This is my current seat. I'm not gonna give away too much, but I am switching out seats soon enough. Somebody will be making me something different. But it's a nice seat. I like it. It is not for much longer rides, if you will. It's not the most comfortable seat, and yeah, it does sink you down a little bit lower. So if you're a shorter person, this might be, or maybe not even shorter, but just lower, shorter legs. I was going to say shorter limbs. I don't know which one of those is probably more accurate, but this seat is good for that. I run their matching back pad here. So the back pad and these match. And then this sissy bar is from Harley. This is a Harley factory sissy bar. Now, just opening the bags here, I run Hogworks bag liners. I had a little bit of a hiccup with them on the original bags with some quality control, but they fixed it, and they made right by this. I run 12-point hardware right here to hold the bag in place. So both here and here are 12-point hardware. Really nice stuff. Now, working our way to the back of the bike, starting from the very top, I run a Centauro FabWorks seat lock. I know this sounds absolutely silly, but people do steal seats, and it just makes them a little bit harder for them to steal. My rear fender is a Hoffman Designs fender that was cut by me to being this short. That is the style that I wanted to go with. I like the fact that it shows the rear tire, which is really nice to me. And it's gonna be even nicer when you see what wheel and tire combo I went with. So stay tuned in for that video. Now, moving down the hardware here, this is from Harley Davidson. Current suspension on the bike, which is gonna be switched very, very, very soon. I can't hint away too much on this, but my suspension currently is Legend suspension. Haven't been too crazy happy about my rear suspension. Does it make do? Is it a good, rear suspension? I guess. There's a few things that, I'm not too happy about with my rear suspension. One of the things are those super long cables that always get in the way everywhere. These cables, literally no matter which way I put it, they're always in the way somehow. And I know other people have come up with creative ways to hide these, but I wish Legends did run a shorter cable and have two different sets, kind of similar to Olin's. I'm not going with Olin's on my rear setup, but I had some shocks that I found at the racetrack, which a few of the racers were running, and I was just drooling over these things, especially the engineering behind these things. And so my rear suspension is gonna be switching out probably within the next week. So you're gonna have to stay tuned in for which rear suspension I decided to go with. And then I run the Carbon Visionary Shark Tail Reservoir clamps. And these things are just beautiful. Very nice reservoir clamps. Highly recommend these. My rear lights are Electric Lighting Co. lights. You can purchase these through Hoffman Designs. Really nice setup, actually. I really like these lights a lot. There are very few filler lights out there that I think are really nice, but the electric lighting ones, I really, really, really like these. My whole rear subframe will be switched out very soon, but this is one thing I am gonna miss. These are really nice lights, so I really like these. Now my license plate bracket. So I run an alloy art license plate bracket. So really nice, really clean. I know not everybody likes this kind of setup where you just throw it on the bag. I like it because if you're doing a track day or if you're doing a bike show, you could simply just do that number and remove it off the bike and you no longer need it on there. So that's pretty cool. It's not the lightest weight component. I mean, it's not, you know, super heavy. It is lighter than the factory one, but there's a few companies that make some carbon fiber ones that sit up here, and I might be switching to one of those here in the near future. All right, now coming down to the right side of the bike, so or the meat and potatoes of the bike. So my current exhaust system is the Jackpot RTX Riot 2-in-1 exhaust from Fuel Moto. This is a really, really nice exhaust. If you've been in the performance bagger scene now for a while, and I'm sure many of my subscribers found my channel because of this exhaust, so many of you have found my channel because of this exhaust. I was one of the first individuals with this exhaust pipe. It's a shorty exhaust, which obviously became very popular in the performance bagger scene, and it's almost like a must. If you're riding a full-blown performance bagger, most of the performance baggers run shorty exhaust systems. So my current exhaust, I love this exhaust. It's actually gonna be a bitter-sweet thing, if you will. What's bittersweet is this exhaust will be coming off of my bike soon because I'm gonna be getting a whole lot of horsepower going on here, more than what the bike currently has, and I'm gonna be getting some, well, you'll have to subscribe to the YouTube channel to see what we're gonna be getting. That is actually gonna be removing this exhaust off of the bike. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. All right, now starting off with this. So I run a Baker Grudge Box. The reason why I run the Baker Grudge Box is for the amount of torque and power that my motor puts out, which we're gonna discuss here in a second, but this is not even an option. I had to go with a Baker Grudge Box. If you didn't see one of my videos, the bike puts out a massive amount of torque. We're almost at 170 foot-pounds of torque, and with those kind of numbers, you need a transmission that can hold all of the horsepower and torque that the bike puts out. And so definitely needed to have the Baker Grudge Box installed on the bike. And so, yep, that's what I run. Moving on, I have a Frankenstein 131 kit on the bike. And what I mean by that is the only thing left on the bike that is actually from the original 131 kit is the pistons and jugs, but this is a 131 cubic inch motor. I run the Fuel Moto AC/DC filter +1, so a bit 1 inch more on the filter, so a bigger filter. And then I run their clear cover. Getting down here, you can see just furthermore the Performance Machine foot controls for the brake. And then of course, like I said, I run the Trask stuff. So I run the Trask shorty shift peg and yeah, the Trask large foot pad, but this is going to be changed to the small one very shortly here. Inside of my cam chest, I run an S&S cam plate along with an S&S 540 cam. Highly recommend the 540 cam if you're looking to build a drag style setup. If you're looking for more of a relaxed, just fun overall bike, I would go with the 550C cam from S&S. The 540C is very, very aggressive. It is a very torquey cam. This will make your bike feel like you are on a drag bike. It is very twitchy. It is very, very quick to put full torque to that rear wheel. And so, yeah, you're definitely going to want to go with the 550 if you're not looking for that super aggressive throttle, if you will, or super aggressive, you know, torque. I run the S&S, that blue cam chest and oil pump. So all that is S&S in there. My throttle body is a 64 millimeter throttle body from Screamin' Eagle, which is paired up with my ported and polished manifold from Ward. And this nice cover that you see right here is also from Trask. It is the matching window cover, just like my derby cover on the other side of the bike. And I think that is actually it. Oh, I mentioned on the rear wheel, I also run a Golfer rear disc rotor, as well as the Hoffman Designs Signature Series rear wheel. Once again, the whole weight thing, I don't know how much longer until my new wheels come in, but I did decide to go with a much lighter set of wheels, so you're gonna have to stay tuned in for that video. Make sure, once again, to click that subscribe button if you wanna stay up to date on the content, especially, like I said, on my build series. In terms of the tires, currently running the factory Dunlops that come on the 2020 Street Glide Specials. I have a set over here of Avon Cobra Chromes to put on. I'm going with a little bit of a different wheel setup on my new wheels. So I am gonna be running some smaller sizes and some wider tires, so that's gonna be changing here shortly. Now keep in mind, there was a lot of parts that have been switched on and off of my bike for quite some time. So I'm sure for many of you who have been subbed to my channel for quite some time now, you have seen a lot of parts come on and off of my bike. So if you are new to my YouTube channel, go ahead and check that out. Check out all of my previous videos on floorboards that I've switched out, handlebars, grips, the whole nine. I've done a ton of switching in and out. There's a lot of parts that came off my bike that I wish I would have kept on my bike. Let me know in the comment section down below if you're interested in knowing which parts that came off my bike that I wish I would have kept on my bike. And let me know in the comment section down below if you're interested in me making a video of which parts that are currently on my bike that I wish I had never purchased in the first place. Anyways, let me know in the comment section down below if those are videos that you're interested in seeing, and of course, I'll gladly make them happen. With that being said, if you do have any questions about the parts that are currently on my bike, go ahead and comment down below. I will be answering everybody's question. There will be not a single question that goes unanswered, at least for the first several months of this video going live. Obviously, if you're seeing this several years later, maybe, maybe not. I don't know, I can't predict the future. But like I said, I'll try my best to answer every single question that you have with the parts that are on my bike. And I will be doing a detailed video series on reviews for every single part that has been on my bike and every single part that will be going on my bike and every single part that's currently on my bike, of course. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Do me a big favor, if you have enjoyed this video, click that like button. It helps me out a lot. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if I have not yet convinced you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, dude, gal, what are you doing? Click that subscribe button, bro. It's free. Anyways, I appreciate the love and support you guys have shown the channel. You guys have no idea. I think I'm probably one of the faster growing YouTube channels in the motorcycle space, and it could not be without the help of all of you guys. I'm so surprised of how much the channel has grown in such a short period of time. It would have never happened without all of the love and support that you guys have shown me and the good energy that you guys have put in out there, sharing my videos on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. On that note, make sure you're putting good energy out there into the world and you're paying it forward. I'll check y'all out later. Bye now.